Greetings, everyone. My name is Kathleen Zemansky. I'm a business Feng Shui master, business astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr business management system. Today, I'm here on, I think it's like day 5 of the 9-day series that I do once a month, which is talking about the monthly Feng Shui and flying star of your space. I believe now more than ever, as we're working more and more remotely, that you should be taking really a critical eye of what's happening in your space. The Feng Shui of your space is there to help you achieve your goals. And if you are having some issues now, there's things that are out of our control. We have a pandemic going on in the US, at least. We have some civil unrest, and I know in other parts of the world as well. We have some real dramatic, talk about a fire and ice kind of storm that we have going on here in the United States, which really is in alignment with what's happening in the astrology of the year. We've got, water being a very strong element, and then the fire being an unstable element. Pretty much all of the West Coast and then a few states in are under siege of fires. On the East Coast, we have a lot of flooding, and we're really deep in the hurricane season, and then right smack in the center of our country we have unprecedented temperatures. They might have come out of that since a few days ago, when it went from really high triple digit, very, very extreme heat to snow. So we really do have this crazy unsettledness here, and that's because of what's happening with the year. So some of this, like I said, you have no control over, but what you do have control over is how you are using your space. So let's hop in and see what we're going to be talking about today. So here really is my business model of person, space, and time. And then there's another ring around that, which is the universal gateway, which is the more spiritual side of Feng Shui. But for today's purposes, we're going to talk a little bit about person, space, and time. And the important thing to know is that some of these energies are not actually equal, 33, 33, and 33, like you just saw on the slide. It depends on what's happening in your life. So your business astrology, for example, could be impacted by the metal rat. We're in 2020 and it's the metal rat. So there might be some animals that you have in your chart that might be having some disruption due to it. So how do you play that out? So that could be downgraded. And conversely, you could have some animals that are playing very well with the rat this year, and so that your chart is actually elevated. Then the next piece is Feng Shui, which we're going to concentrate mostly on today. But again, do you have a nice complete square floor plan, or do you have some missing corners, or is there some things that are not working and flowing really well? Do you have things that are broken, or do you have things, we're going to be always looking at the outside. I've talked about this extensively. You may want to go back and listen to some of the other videos about how the external is really the most important thing to look at first before we look at the Feng Shui of your space. And then the timing piece is a very, very important concept in classical Feng Shui, because everything is based on timing. So we want to make sure that we're using the space to its utmost potential by being in a certain area when the timing is right. So this one we're talking about today is the West, and we'll be getting into that in just a brief moment here. First, I want to talk to you about your astrology chart. Now, the first thing I want you to do, and there are links already listed below, that you may want to run your chart or those of the people that you are sheltering in place with. Why? Because you want to understand what's going on in their life. Now, again, below I have the rooster month, because that's the month that we are currently in. And so I have that link below. But what you want to do is you're going to want to run the charts of yourself and the people that you are close to, and even some people that are giving you some issues. Maybe you can understand a little bit more about them if you understand what's happening in their chart. So, like I said, I have the rooster linked below, but you want to run the or watch the videos, I should say, of the people that are closest to you, including yourself. So just go on my YouTube channel, 2020, and then put in the animal, rat, horse, dog, monkey, etc., and listen to those videos so you can have a better understanding on how your year's going to play out. Now, you also have to take into consideration the 4 pillars have 4 distinct attributes that will help you understand how to play out these energies. Now, please keep in mind, I do more business consults than I do personal, but the truth of the matter is that why are we working so hard? We want to make sure that we really understand everything that is going on in our personal lives as well. So there's going to be that, but truthfully my entry point is to help you in your business. Therefore, the year of birth is about your marketing. It's about your social media. Like, what strategies do you have to get your message out far and wide? It is also about your networking efforts. Are you at a level where your connections are so low that nobody's even referring you? So that's something that you would want to consider as well. And it's also about your social circles. Now, sometimes the old adage that it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, this is this pillar that can help you with that. So keep that in mind. The month of birth is going to be about your career, your character, what you're best suited at. And then your day of birth is about yourself. It's about your personal growth. It is about your it's also about your mindset. And this is, I think, to me, one of the more important aspects of your astrology chart, because if you have a lot of goals and you keep doing actions and you have thoughts that are counter to your goals, what do you think is the chances of you achieving them? Probably pretty slim, right? So we want to elevate that, and so understanding what that animal has going for it, especially in the annual energies, on how well you're going to be combating or rallying for your goals. Now, the hour of birth, this one is about your dreams, your aspirations. It's about your goals. It really is about the goals that you set for yourself, and you should be setting your goals. Don't let others impose. I mean, if you are working for someone else, of course you're going to have some corporate or employee obligations to help you meet goals for the company that you're working for, but you may have some personal goals as well. It could be retiring at a certain age, buying a house, going back to school to get more training so that you are a more viable and move up the ladder as well. And then if you own your own company, okay, what is it that next level that you want to go? Do you want to build your list exponentially? Do you want to launch a website this year and rebrand? Do you want to explore JV partnerships, joint venture partnerships, things like that? So these are the things that you need to clearly define, and the hour of birth will help you do that. I realize some of you don't know your hour of birth due to adoption or records not being properly kept, but at least you know 75% of what can happen. So keep that in mind, that don't give up just because you don't have your hour of birth. Okay, so then again, below is the link, but you can go to freebusinessastrology.com. And then once we have that information, then we now go into looking at the space. And so let's dive right into first we're going to look at the flying star. And I've already done the Central Palace, the Southeast, South, and Southwest. Today we're going to be talking about the 9 that is located in the west. Now, I also want to let you know that the rooster, which is located in the west, I'll show you that on a compass dial in just a second, But there is some really great energies that the rooster has going for them this year. So you really want to think about, if you have a rooster in your chart, is this a good area for you to hang out? The answer is yes, you do. So it really is good for taking some negatives and turning them into positives. That's one of the big strengths that the rooster has going for them this year. They also have sort of this happiness energy, and that's actually good. Just kind of think just for a brief moment of just what we've been through in the last 6 months. It's like unprecedented, and there's very few people. They're the people that are 100 plus that have gone through some other types of pandemics in their life, but they were very, very, very young when this had happened. So, as a young child, for babies, toddlers, or preschoolers, they probably are not going to get the same impact about this COVID crisis like maybe you as an adult will. But with that said, they have gone through quite a bit, right? So this is something that, you want to think about during this time. What gift would it be to bring happiness to others and bring some joy to others? So that's what the rooster can provide for you this particular year. In this particular month, it's actually stronger because it's the rooster month. So we should also expect wealth to grow for the roosters this year. And if you start using the space, wow, you can really start amplifying that particular energy. So the West is about investments. And the investments I want you to think about are more long-term investments. These are going to be your properties, your portfolio, if you still have one, your retirement funds, if you will, but anything of value that's going to grow over time. Could be antiques, it could be jewelry, but also this is one that I really encourage you this year, if you don't have something like this already, is your own IP. What can you do that you can have control over and build your future? That's what this is all about, right? So I want you to start thinking about how can you have something so unique that no one else offers, no matter what it is, but your way of doing it is going to create IP that will give you stability in your life. All right, so that's what the annual is about. Now let's go over and have a peek at what the monthly is going to entail for us. Now, the West is what we're talking about today. The right-hand number 9 is the annual star, and on the left-hand side, this is your monthly star. And then what we're going to do right now is now start reading a little bit of a picture about what the West has to offer. And I'm actually going to go down to this slide, so while I'm talking about it, you can actually see. Now, before I even talk about it, though, I want you to understand my color coding, if you will. And the color coding is that the icons are either going to be blue or red. So if they're blue, I consider them positive. If they're red, they are negative. So as you can see, in the southeast, the center palace in the west is pure good energy, and then the south is pure negative. I would stay away from that. And then the southwest is mixed, but it's, is it even worth being in the southwest when you have these other two areas? And what I want you to start understanding about this is, when you understand the layout of your floor plan, like where north, south, east is located, then you're going to have that ability to start putting your body is now going to be that antenna. So, for example, I have my desk situated in a certain direction in a certain way. So this acts as an antenna. It's a big, heavy object. It's a stand-up, sit-down desk with motors and all of that. So it's quite heavy. I do have it on wheels so I can move it around, though. And, big desktop and, lighting and all of that on the desktop. So it can be quite heavy. And I'm a very small frame, petite woman. So I needed those wheels to be on there so I can move my desk around as needed. And I highly recommend you thinking that with that mindset as well. Now, the other thing that you can do if you don't want to pull up your whole operation, and I don't, what I do is I take my laptop and go work in a different area, and I actually go in those different areas throughout the day or month because I want to capture and harness that energy and absorb it. So if you missed the other videos that I've talked about, just go back and listen to the other videos. And these are not a save for later video. This is do it now. If you want to put your life back on track, you need to be doing things now. And remember, I talked about the timing piece of it. This is not something that is going to be relevant in just about 3 weeks from now when we go into the month of October with the dog energy. But that's not going to be until about the 7th or 8th of October. But what I'm trying to say is you need to act now. The people that are going to be successful are the I can do this. I'm going to do anything I can to achieve my goals. And this is the metaphysical way that you can do it. I want you to still remain and be the expert that you are, but this is going to give you the competitive edge. This really is what classical feng shui is all about, is about having that competitive edge, having money and power. I'm not sure where all the foo-foo stuff came in where, it brings balance and all of that. Well, yes, we want some balance, right? But that's not the main tenet of classical feng shui. The main tenet is really having that competitive edge to win. So hopefully you understand the concept of that. And then let's proceed with looking at how to understand the West in this particular month. Okay, first of all, this is a very favorable combination, this 3 and 9. It really is about abundance, and it really is favorable when it comes to obtaining and growing your wealth. So if cash flow has been a problem for you in 2020 or even in the past, then you're going to want to use this area because it's going to help not only for your long term, because remember that's what the 9 is about, but also it's going to help a little bit boost that cash flow for you right now. So if you're cash crunched right now, think about getting over to the West. By far, the West is really the more favorable of all of the directions in 2020. And again, we're already in September right now. So in a few months' time, those are going to be gone. That energy is gone. So you want to capture it now while it's vibrant. When it dips, it's not going to be as useful or timely. Timely means it's not going to be effective anymore. Okay, so anyway, use that sector for cash flow in September, but you do want to watch extravagant spending though. So just because cash flow is coming in, it isn't the time that goes, which can be easy, especially if you've been cash crunched for a while, and it's like, I got some money. Don't let it burn a hole in your pocket so quickly that you're back to square one. So try to find a way to put a plan in place once the money comes in, that you distribute it wisely. If you have lost your portfolio because of what happened in, you had to, maybe divest it because of COVID to pay bills and things like that. Let's see if we can get you back on track. Even if it's a slow grow, it's better than no grow, right? So let's see where you can do that. Now, this could also be good for interviewing like new financial advisors or CPAs to help you with your financial planning. So think about that. This combination is also very, very good for, unleashing your intelligence. So it's going to be a very good place for you to study. Do you need to learn about financial intelligence? Do you need to learn something about maybe how to properly write a funnel or sales campaign? Do you need to know more about how to market your business? These are things that you can study in this area, and then the knowledge actually sticks. Now, of course, we have to be serious about this too, right? In the respect that you go and you're really studying. You're not sitting there just going like, I'm just gonna take this book and it's just going to absorb into me because I'm in the West. No, let's be reasonable. You really have to make an effort to crack that book open and make some real strides towards learning. But then this learning can have a longevity where you can turn that wisdom and monetize it into something like a program or something like that. Okay, and you also may be lucky in the romance field, but just know that it may be just a budding of a relationship versus a long-term arrangement. But if you're looking for more of a hookup, it might be good for that, because this romance might be just more a flash in the pan as people are getting back out. But here's the real crux of it. Just be honest of what you're looking for when you're out there. Let's not hurt anybody or break anyone's hearts, and protect your own as well. So just know that using that area, you can just kind of activate a little bit of that energy to help you start getting back out in the dating world if you're thinking about that. And then you could have some happy moments as well if you're already coupled up. Okay, so that is the combinations that we have for the West. Let me show you now how this looks on a compass dial. What you're going to need is to take this compass dial, and today we talked about the West. And I also want you to notice where it says West 2. So every 15 degrees, there's a element or an animal. And so in the West, which is considered a pure cardinal, and it's all metal, it's yin metal, by the way, even though this is a yang metal, right? Your metal is favorable, yang metal being a little bit more favorable than the yin metal, but nonetheless, we do have that metal there. And what you want to start thinking about is, actually, I'm going to even go back a slide, because I think this is important for you to know about the astrology chart, just so you have a little bit better understanding. What I want you to look at are these 5 structures. This is right below your natal chart, sort of on the left, sort of center, but not quite center. There's the 5 structures. These are the 5 elements of your natal chart, of the yin and yang combined together. The archetypes are the yin and yang divided, but the 5 structures is what I want you to look at right now. What is metal to you? This is a pure metal animal, the rooster. So what is metal to you? And it would be one of these 5. And so and it's going to be different for everyone. So what I want you to do is, what is metal to you, and do I want more of it? If you want more of it, especially use the West sector in the month of September. But truthfully, like I said, it's been good all year long. So you want to keep that in mind as well. All right, going back to that compass dial where we had the flying star, it only has the annual on there. So, and I have gone through this each day. I have gone through this dial and what this means. So the West sector, we love it this year, and especially if you have a rooster in your chart. A dragon is another favorable animal for the rooster, and the snake and ox are good as well. And the animal that doesn't like the rooster so much, because they can be a bit combative, are the rabbits, because they're opposite sides of the zodiac. So there's other ones as well, but I don't want to get too deep into the astrology, because we're talking more about the Feng Shui. But I want you to see how the astrology is, so really it is that person, space, and time concept, that it really is a holistic system. You can, yes, look at the space by itself, but then you've got a cookie cutter solution. We want to have more precise, personalized solutions for you, and that's why we need to know what your astrology is. Okay, now when we're looking at this particular compass dial, what you need to do is superimpose this over your floor plan. I have a link below for you to receive this one, as well as the annual Feng Shui compass dial. Now there's a little bit different here, where we have with my regular clients, what we do, they have like a Feng Shui activation schedule. So on specific days and times, we're doing an activation. I'm not talking about that for this. What I'm actually asking you to do is just put your body there and have your body be the receptor of this this energy, and that's how this can help you. Yes, taking the Feng Shui activations, that would be taking it to the next level, but right now we're just getting you to start understanding your space and using it properly. So with that said, let's look at, again, the West. As you can see, it has the Fortune Virtue, and that is about money. Then we had that long-term 9 that was bringing in even cash flow for right now. So really, you could be working both your short-term and long-term money goals in the West this particular month, which is pretty amazing. I love it. And then the other thing I want you to know about this dial is that once you find these areas in your space, I want you to use the green, especially the West and the Northeast. The Southwest, where the goat is located, you can see that it has a line going over it which says we have the 3 killing. Now the 3 killing goes over 3 animals. This year it's going over the snake, the horse, and the goat. And so what I want you to think about, yes, you can use that goat area to be in to, capture the energy, even though this month is not the super vibrant, but it is what I want you to take caution of is when you see the 3 killing, no matter what year it is, wherever that's at, you do not want to do renovations there. You want to avoid renovations at all cost, because it can then bring the negative attributes of the sector, and we don't want that. We're trying to boost our energy, not break it down. So, and renovations would entail even hanging a painting on the wall or a mirror or something like that. Please don't do that. You're just going to have to wait till next year. I mean, truthfully, yes, you could contact me and I could, by consultation, find a good date for you to do a renovation and or hang artwork and things like that. But unless it's absolutely urgent, why invest money there when you can just have a little bit of patience and do it at another time. Then the other areas that I want you to watch out for is the red areas. So the North, the South, which we've already talked about, the South, and then the East. The East is really quite negative as well. So the areas of conflict we want to avoid. I don't really want to be spending much time in the East, and I don't really want to do any renovations in the East as well. Yes, it does have a positive energy going over it, but the negatives outweigh the positives in such a way that it just yes, it's there, but it's really not that usable. So there's other ways that we can get there, and it is by following the instructions that I'm giving you right now. All right, let's see. Okay, now and below are the links for the compass dials, but they are freecompassdials.com. Free compass dial, not plural, sorry, freecompassdial.com, but the link is below. All right, now the next thing I want to talk to you about is the TimeBlazr. This is just a screenshot of a pretty robust piece of software. It's my proprietary TimeBlazr calendar system. And what I want you to know about this is it's personalized to each and every person. So what we are doing right now, so again, time of this recording, we are doing a free 30-day trial, no credit card required. But to understand the system a little bit more, what I would encourage you to do is to come back online on Tuesdays, and I have a weekly preview. It's called TimeBlazr Tuesdays. And what I do on that is I go through the week and help you plan out your week according to those auspicious dates and times. And it's not always about choosing a good day, but it's also avoiding the challenging ones. So what I really want you to do is to make sure that you are really following all of this person, space, and time. And that's why we're online a lot, to help you understand these very empowering tools that can help you take your business to the next level. Okay, I did talk to you about my annual event this year, and tickets are on sale. And so we have the upcoming year of the Metal Ox, and it's going to be a 2-day live stream event. So it's January 16th and 17th, and it's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard. And the link to that is bit.ly/metal ox. So what I do at that event is I end up talking about all of the elements of the year, all of the animals of the year. We do a metaphysical goal setting based on your astrology chart. Can you imagine knowing that you have certain energies that are helping you? And right there at the moment, we are going to lay out your year for you. Then we talk about the Feng Shui of the space, the annual Feng Shui. We talk about the flying star. And then we'll also talk about the universal gateway, which is the more spiritual side of Feng Shui, so that we can be manifesting things with the help of the universe. So it's a really impactful, powerful 2 days. And then, of course, we'll talk about good dates and times for you to trigger the chi, so you can actually experience some of those Feng Shui activations yourself. So here's what I would do. I would start getting yourself ready. I would start getting that floor plan of yours ready so that you are really ticking by the time it hits. But why wait? Get that energy straight for this year. We want you to start using this energy and use the most positive to have the most positive results. So anyway, it's a jam-packed day. Hopefully you'll be able to make it. I wouldn't want you to miss it. It's at bit.ly/metal ox. And that's it for us today. We really appreciate your following. And with that said, if you are new to us, we would certainly love for you to connect with us, subscribe. That would be the first thing you want to do. If you liked what you heard today, please hit that like button. And if you liked what you heard, tell me what it is that you liked about today's recording, as well as tell me what's going on in your life. Let me know what business struggles that you have, and let's see how Chinese metaphysics can help you out. And then lastly, you want to make sure you hit that bell to make sure that you are notified for all of our upcoming recordings, whether it be the TimeBlazr, Astrology, Universal Gateway, or Feng Shui like we covered today. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Northwest Sector, and it is an exciting topic as well. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of the day. Take care.